Okay, so today's class we are trying to discuss about functions on in C programming. So to start with, we'll start with some examples. So hash include stdio.h. Then we have int main. Then something called have a declarations of local int a comma b comma c. Then probably some results also I want. Otherwise C itself is a result for me. Then printf. Enter two integers. Then scanf, percentile d, then percentile d, then ampersand of a comma ampersand of b, then c is equal to max of a comma b, printf, maximum number is biggest number, anything is okay, maximum number is percentile d backslash n c, then you have get ch, then return 0, then this is 1, and actually it's a continuation I'm writing here. Int max int x comma int y, then if x is greater than y, return x, else return y. Okay, so I think this is separate. If you look at this particular program, what we have done is we wanted to find the biggest of two numbers, where as per normal programming practice, we start with hash include stdio.h to make use of the printf and scanf. Then we are writing an int main, which is an entry point for the C program. Then there is an int abc. There are three different memory locations created with the name A. Then one more memory with the name B, and one more memory with the name C, and all of them are 4 bytes. So I should write 4 bytes, 4 bytes, 4 bytes. And the contents, can you tell me garbage or some definition is happening here? You tell me.
Garbage.
All the three variables are garbage, right? I'll just write gar, gar, gar. So all three are garbage. Then the moment it is executing printf, enter two integers, so it will ask for two integers, assuming that I'm entering maybe some 10 and 20, 10 space 20, then enter. The moment you perform 10, 20, enter, what is going to happen? Tell me. After entering 10 and 20 from the keyboard, what is going to happen in the memory? Respond. The garbage A is getting updated by how much?
10, sir.
10. Then garbage B is updated by
20, sir.
20. C remains garbage, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Then I'm executing for the first time a different type of line, which is called C is equal to max of A comma B. So what is A value? 10. And what is the B value? 20. Is it not? Try to understand. When you write this particular line, which is C is equal to max, C will be updated with the result of the highest number between A and B. What is the result of highest number between A and B? 20, is it not? Yes or no? I want you to respond, right? So that I can feel it is an interactive session.
Yes, sir.
So is it not C is equal to 20?
Yes, sir.
So this garbage is updated by 20. Then printf, the maximum number is percentile DC. So what is the output it is going to print?
Maximum number is 20.
20, right? Yeah, correct. Maximum number is 20. That is how it will print. Okay, fine. And get ch come out. But only thing is, what is the difference is the logic of finding the A and B. I'm not writing in my main program. Instead, I'm writing in some function which is called max. The name of the function is a max. Just a minute, somebody is waiting. Fine. So let me go back. So for the first time, we are using a logic not to be written inside the main. Instead, we are calling some new name which is called max. So max is called as a function name. So whenever you write the parentheses or brackets after the name of the max, you are trying to pass A and B, where to 10 and 20 are passing. What is going to happen is the A value is going to be copied into X. So here also, at the moment my control jumps here, here also there are two locations are created. I'm telling the address, it will be 1000, the address of this will be 2000, the address of this will be 3000, right? Then whereas here it may be some 50,000, it might be 60,000. So what is going to happen is the name is X, this is name is Y, again both are integers. So whatever first number you have written here, what is the first number here? What is the coordination now? X will be replaced with a number of what? X will be garbage initially, but here it's not garbage. Whenever you use this particular line, the control will jump to this particular location. Int X, X will be updated with a 10, Y will be updated with a 20. Okay. Then inside this max function, what is happening? I'm using a control structure if condition. X is greater than Y, true or false? 10 greater than 20, true or false?
False, sir.
False. So this return will not get executed, else part will get executed. What is the return? Return what? Y. What is Y? What is the value of Y? 20. Is it
20.
not? Yeah, the moment return statement is running, the control will come out of the function max. Then the value whatever you are returning here, that will be copied into which variable? C. Is it not?
C, sir.
So that 20 is coming here. So finally I'm able to see. So in this particular example, what you can understand is the two things you should understand. I will try to write here. Just a minute. So 2 points. Program is a collection of functions. Can I write this way? How many functions my main program has? Total two functions. One is main, other one is a max, and one is a printf, one is a scanf. Is it not?
Yes, sir.
So my main program is a collection of functions which includes main, printf, scanf, and max, out of which printf and scanf are predefined. Max is defined by the user, so we call it as a user defined function. Okay? Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The second is called, the function is a collection of statements. Function is collection of statements. So how many statements we have written in the max function? Can you tell? How many statements we have written in the max function? Respond. Fast. You're not telling.
4 statements.
4 statements, right? So function is a collection of statements. Program is a collection of functions. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And third point, you all must remember, always divide your program into functions. Divide the program. Divide the program into multiple functions. Into multiple functions, where each function performs different task. Different task. Can you tell me what is the task of my printf? What is the task of the printf function? Respond. Divide the program into multiple functions where each function performs a different task. What is the task of the printf function, which is a predefined? Can anybody respond? Because so far we have written so many programs, and each program is having a printf function. So if you are unable to find, it's very tougher for us to do remaining programs. Tell me, what is the job of the printf function? To display text on the monitor, yes or no? At least you respond yes. Okay. What is the job of the scanf function?
To take value.
Yeah, to accept the input from the keyboard and update the memory variables. Is it not?
Yes, sir.
What is the task of the max? What is the task of the max?
To find bigger value.
To find the biggest value. And what is the task of the main function? To call multiple functions. Is it not?
Yes, sir.
So that is how every function always try to divide the program into multiple functions where each function performs different tasks. Now onwards, we are trying to write every algorithm in a separate function, and that function you can call inside the main. And main job is only to call multiple functions and display the result. Okay? Is it clear?
Yes,
And here in the above example, I have first written main program or main function. Main function is written first. Main function is written first. Then max function is written. Yes or no? Max function is written. Agree or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here you must understand that functions can be defined in any order. There is no rule that always you should define main, then only the other functions. You can define first function, then followed by main. This doesn't matter. Definition or order of the definition of the function doesn't matter, but the calling of the function always matters. Okay? Is it clear to all of you?
Sir, can you repeat, sir?
Order in which functions are called matters, but not the order in which they are defined. I'm just writing only for the sake of knowledge. The order, this is a fourth point. Okay? Order in which functions are defined, or functions are called, in fact. Functions are called matters, but not the order in which they define, but not the order in which they are defined, in which they are defined. Have you defined printf function? Tell me, the printf function is defined by you or it is a predefined?
Predefined.
Predefined. We do not know where it is available, yes or no? We are only calling it, we are only using it. Similarly, scanf, have you defined?
It's predefined, sir.
Yeah, again, max, have you defined? Max function. Tell me, yes or no?
No, sir.
Oh, max function we only define, no?
E is equal to 1.
Int x comma y, int x comma int y, then if x is greater than y, return x, else return y. All these things you only, we only wrote, no? Is it not?
Yes, sir.
So max is a user defined function. So definition of the printf, definition of the scanf, definition of the max doesn't matter where it is written, but order is important. Can I call max before printf and scanf?
No, sir.
It is not possible, because until unless I know x and y value or a and b value, there is no use of calling a max function. Yes or no? Max is needed two inputs, which is a and b. Without printf, user does not know what are the inputs to be typed, and scanf, without scanf I cannot update the variables a and b. Then only I can make use of the max function. Yes or no? Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now the fifth point. Main is calling the printf and scanf, then the max. Who is calling the main program? We generally consider operating system will call the main. Okay, OS will call the main function. Then main can call function 1 in general. It could be any value, any name. Then function 1 can call function 2. That is also possible. Function 2 in turn can call function 3. That is not a matter. But ultimately, the first one is what? OS. which is going to call your main function, then main can call remaining function which is defined by you, or it can be defined by the computer or a predefined. Is it okay? Is it clear? Tell me. Respond. Are you listening to my class or not?
Yes, sir.
Sixth point, all of you must remember. The function which is called last will terminate first. If the above order we follow, example, OS is calling the main is calling the F1, F1 is calling the F2, F2 is calling the F3. Which function is going to be terminated? In the previous case, the moment you execute the return statement, it gets terminated. Yes or no? Correct or not? It is something like, I'm writing a main, then I'm calling a F1. I'm writing an F1 separately, it is calling F2. Again, I'm defining an F2, it might call F3. Now, can you tell me order of how it is get executed? OS will call main program. Main will call which function? Which function it is?
F1.
F1.
F1. F1, the control will jump to the F1. F1 is going to call
F2.
F2. Again, control will jump here. F2 will call
F3.
So I need to have an F3 function also. Maybe some statements are there here. Statement 1, statement 2, like that. There are no more function calls in the F3. After executing the F3, the control will jump to here. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
It is something like this. Again, it will complete here, it will go back. It will complete here, it will go back. It will complete here, it will go back. Means OS will take care. Yes or no? I think in the very initial classes, everybody was asking, sir, why we are writing return 0 at the end of the main program in the dev C++? Yes or no? Now you might have understood. The meaning of return is you have to come out of the main so that the control will go back to the operating system. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so out of this process, which function is terminated first? The moment you find a closing bracket and it is going the control back, out of this whole process, which one is terminated first? Terminated means its job is done.
F3, sir.
F3. And F3 is called the last, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
The function which is called last terminate first. Agree or not? The function which is called last gets terminated first. Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And also the order in which they are called, in the reverse order they get terminated. Is it not? The reverse order they get terminated. Am I right or not? F1 calls F2, F2 calls F3, F3 is executed, then F3 terminated, then F2 terminated, then F1. It's the reverse order they get terminated. Is it not the case?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Then comes to the topic of functions is called types of functions. Just now we have discussed already. Types of functions. So what are the types of functions? First is called predefined function. Predefined function. So it is already defined by the computer or system. It is already defined in the system. It's already defined in the system. So what is our job? Just call the function. Just call the function .h file contains prototype of the function, where I have not discussed what is the prototype and all. We'll discuss in little while. Prototype of function. Then something called .lib. There is one more file called .lib file which contains function definitions. Function definitions. dot lab is already included in .h file. Okay, some of the examples of the predefined functions are, which we are familiar. Scanf is one of the predefined function. Printf is also which we are familiar. Then we are not familiar something called squrt. It's called sqart actually. Square root actually. Okay, sqart is one function. Then POW is the power of one function. Then CLR, SCR we are not using in Dev C++. In Turbo C widely we use this clear screen. Then getch also we are familiar. And so on. There are so many are there. As our topic goes on, we'll discuss some of the predefined function. I think in this, printf is known to you, scanf is known to you, getch is known to you, where we yet to understand what is square root function, what is power function, and clear screen is not required, but you can make use of it. That is not an issue. That also I'll explain with some examples, maybe the turn which comes next. Or else, I think in the afternoon, you only told, right? On the Tuesday and Saturday, you have free hours. Years in the evening, I mean afternoon hours. Okay, we'll try to discuss in that. So is it clear what is predefined? Predefined functions are already defined in the system. Just we need to call the function, and where .h file contains the prototype of the function, .library file contains the function definitions, and .lib is already included in the .h file. So some of the examples of scanf, printf, square root, power, clear string, getch, and so on. Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Then I am trying to get second function called user defined function, which I already just now have defined with a max. User defined function. So function defined by the user. Function defined by user is called user defined function. Is called user defined function. So when we do the user defined function, you must be concentrated. There are three things actually. There are three types you are concentrating. We should concentrate actually. So what are the three types? First is called function definition, which I did in the right side of the program. Function definition. The second one is called function calling, which I did in the middle of the program of the main function calling. Third one I missed it, that is called function prototype, which I said we'll discuss now. Function prototype. Is it clear? There are three types which we need to consider. There are three things actually. One is called function definition, one is called function calling, other one is called function prototype. So in the above example you have seen, right? I'll go back to the program. Yeah, so this particular, if you assume this particular line is called function call, function calling. We're calling the function actually. Whereas this one is called this part basically. Okay, I think I should write here. It's called function definition. I'm unable to write because of this space and all. Function definition. Is it clear? So two things are visible in the program, whatever I have written just now, where I did C is equal to max of a comma b with a semicolon. Function calling always terminated by a semicolon. Function definition, the logic must be defined between, there is a opening and closing brackets. Before that, some name must be given. We'll discuss one by one all these three things. The prototype only is missing. I'll tell you what you mean by prototype. It is something like when compiler or your Dev C++ compiler is going to scan this program, it will scan stdio.h. Yeah, it is available in the our software, so it is not an issue. Main is an entry point, so it is also not a problem. Int a comma b comma c. Int is a data type where a, b, c. There will be 4 bytes of memory of 3 different variables are going to be declared. Printf is a predefined, not an issue. Scanf is also not an issue. The moment it will scan c is equal to max of a comma b, then do you think max is among the reserved words or keywords? I think I told already what are the keywords. How many keywords we have? I think very first class if I'm right.
32, sir.
32. In the 32 words, max is there. Tell me. It is not there, is it not?
Yes, sir.
So immediately throw an error. You are using a max which I do not know. So don't use a max kind of thing. The reason is the max definition is defined after the main or before the main.
After the main.
That is the reason it is giving a problem. If somebody is something like, no, you are in the college, some strange person will come and he will try to give you some amount or something like that. Will you accept just like that? You will not accept, no? Yes or no? Otherwise, I'll tell you are in hostel, and some stranger will come to you and he will try to give some amount to you. Definitely, you will not accept because you don't know about him or her. Yes or no? Respond.
Yes, sir.
Whereas, suppose you need amount and you will call your parents, and your parents will tell that somebody is coming from your village to Hyderabad, and they are sending amount through them, and they will call and tell you that so and so day and so and so time, some person will come and hand over money to you. Then will you accept or not in that case? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
So it is called prototyping, means the system must be given a prior knowledge about there is a definition of the function called max. If you don't give the prior information, then it will throw an error. Whenever it is going to scan my program, because I have defined main function first, it will throw the error. So to avoid that kind of confusion, we call it as, we write whatever the first line. What is the first line here? Int max followed by int comma int semicolon. You can see here this is called function prototype. Function prototype. It means something like your parents are calling you and telling that some strange person is coming to you and he is going to give an amount of something, then you can accept. So that is called function prototyping. But in the function prototyping, what are the important things you must understand? There is something called return type. This is called return type. Name of the function, then number of arguments and type of the arguments. So how many arguments it is indicating? The 1 comma indicate there are 2 arguments. 2 commas indicate 3 arguments. Yes or no? The function prototype must be written at the beginning of the program after the hash includes, which we'll talk about. There is a function name called max, which is going to accept 2 different parameters and both of them are integers, and it is going to return a result of type integer. Is it clear to all of you? Is it clear? Try to understand. This is function prototyping. This is function calling. This whole thing is function definition. So these 3 things are important. Is it clear? Respond.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we will discuss one by one. The first one is the function definition. We'll spend some time on it. Maybe the AL, right? Function definition, or one you can take because I have written a number. Function definition. Function definition. It informs to the computer. It informs to the computer about what the function does. What the function does. In other words, you can say, write the code or logic or algorithm, anything you can call, in the function. So the syntax, right? How the function definition syntax will have. Syntax is, you will have a return type, prototype syntax of function definition. There should be a return type, then followed by a space, function name, then parenthesis, declaration of parameters, declaration of parameters. Then you have a block associated with it. Just a minute, I'm getting a call. Okay, fine. So let us continue. So return type, the function name, then declaration of the parameters. Then inside that you have a declaration of local variable. For the first time I'm using a new word, declaration of local variables. Local variables. Then you have statement 1, statement 2, it goes on. Then there's something called return statement within the bracket. Within a bracket generally suggestible, then some value, the end of the function. Is it clear to all of you how a function definition is going to have? It must have a return type. In our example case, I use int. The function name I have used a max. Declaration of parameters I use int x comma int y. Declaration of local variables, in my previous example it was not needed, so I did not do it. Then coming to the statements, if x is greater than y, return the value which is x, or else condition, return the y. So in place of the value, you have three alternatives. You can write a value, you can write a variable, you can write an expression also. Anything is okay, or constant also. So all four are possible in place of the value there. So value means it could be actually constant. Value meaning actually, okay, I should write this way. Value means, I think I can remove this, it is not required. Value means it could be a variable, it could be an expression, it could be a constant. Is it clear? All my def C++ program I'm using return 0 in the main. So because I'm using some constant. Whereas return value we have not done so far, but in the previous example we have written either x or y. Is it not? Yes or no? Respond.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I hope there's no doubts in this. If at all any doubt, you can ask. The function definition must have return type, function name, and declaration of the parameters. Then, if it is needed, you should define the declaration of the local variables. Then statements. Then return value is important because there is a return type, some type. So based on that, you should return corresponding value. In place of the value, you can write expression of the constant. So what exactly return type? Let us understand. Return type. So coming to the return type, the type of the value returned by the function is known as a return type. Okay, I'm just writing here the type of value returned by the function is known as return type. If a function returns integer value, like our example, integer value, the return type must be, the return type is int. You should write this way. Okay, if it is returning the float, you should write float. If it is returning a character, you should write char. If a function returns nothing, okay, I'm not writing the other two, you must understand implicit. If a function returns nothing, if a function returns nothing, then the return type is void. I think somebody asked in the very beginning of the semester, sir, why are you writing void? Why are you writing int sometimes void, right? Void means we are not expecting any results from the particular function. In that case, return statement you can avoid. There is no rule to return any value. Even if you want to return, returns, that's it, return semicolon, because you are unable to return, because you are not intended to, the function is not written or defined such a way that it needs to return any value. Then you might ask the question, if a function is not returning anything, how do we know the result of it? So generally a void functions will print results inside the function itself, because you are not going to print any number or return any number. Always preferable to use printf statements inside the function where the return type is void. Is it clear to all of you? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll give an example of a void here, because void is needs some attention here. Void means function returns nothing. Void means functions returns nothing. Function perform action but it returns nothing. Okay, whenever you write a function with a void as a return type, it doesn't mean that it doesn't do anything. They perform something. The functions are going to perform some action or some task, some action or a task, but it returns nothing. And also no value. Nothing means no value, something like that. Example, you can see void f1. I'm using some function printf Hyderabad. Printf Hyderabad. Then printf. I'm not writing to this one, only in hurry. Then Secunderabad. Let me correct it. Printf Secunderabad. Then printf Cyberabad. Something like this. That's it. I'm defining the function with the 3 statements. All the 3 statements, what they are doing? They are printing 3 cities. Yes or no? Hyderabad, Secunderabad, Cyberabad. Is it clear? Respond. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So generally, where do we use this kind of where do we need this kind of situation is wherever you want a menu display. Display of menu means, suppose you are writing a program for a hotel menu. Don't you think you should write a function called menu? Name of the function is menu. In that, whatever items are available in that hotel, you simply write printf item 1, printf item 2, printf item 3, something like that. Is it clear or not? Yes or no? Respond. I'll give one more example. When you go to a ATM machine, the moment you insert a card, what are the options will be visible? Once your PIN number is okay, you will be able to see so many things, right? Mini statement, then withdrawal, then balance, then something like that, right? Other options. So this is the menu basically. It does nothing. Based on your selection, it will come out with any value, but it is going to perform based on your action. Yes or no? In that, so that kind of whenever you want need of displaying menu items, the void function is always suitable. Okay. And you can see the above example returns perform some action which can display the Hyderabad, Secunderabad, Cyberabad, but the function is returning no value. But there is a possibility of writing a void function. I'm rewriting here void F1, you're writing some statements, simply use a return and 25, then you write some statements. Is it correct? Is it correct or not? You tell me. Return type is void, you are writing a function and you are using a return statement with some value inside the function. Is acceptable or not? Mention. Tell me. It is an error. Because in the definition itself, you are telling this function is not going to return anything and you are returning at 25, it leads to an error. Okay? Never write any return statement, a function definition in which the return type is void. Is it clear? Is it clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then one more thing I just wanted to tell you. Suppose you have a function definition, something like this, int f1, you have a 3 statement, return 10, return 20, return 30. Okay, can you tell me the above function returns what value? Tell me. The above function.
10, 20, 30.
Sure, huh?
Yes, sir.
Say I'm using something like no, C is equal to F1. What is the value of C now? It is a function call. Function call C is equal to F1 where function definition is this one. Function definition. What is the value of C? What is the value of C? Tell me. C is only one memory, no?
Yes, sir.
So how can it be 10, 20, 30? What is the value now? You are allowed to write multiple return statements, but it is of no use because the moment you come across a return statement, the control will jump out of the function. It means you will never get a chance to execute the second return onwards. Is it clear? So in that case,
Yes,
what
sir.
in that case, what is the value of the C?
10,
10.
sir.
10.
Very good, very good. The above function returns 10 and the next 2 return statements. Next 2 return statements are skipped. Return statements are skipped. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So then I'll go to the next important topic called function calling. It is also called function invoking. Function call, or the other name is called invoking the function. Anything is okay. Invoking means you need to wake up somebody. Invoking the function. Terminology in the books also you can find any value. Invoking a function, calling a function means same. There is no change. Okay. A function is called by its name. The first point you should remember. A function is called by its name. By its name. Every game is called by its name, no? Cricket means it has different rules. Tennis means it has got different rules. Shuttle means it has got different rules. Yes or no? Respond. A function is called by its name. Acceptable or not?
Yes, sir.
I hope I don't know how many of you are listening. Very good. So if you do not respond, I will stop the class if you feel it is not needed now. Shall I continue or not? Respond.
Continue, sir.
Okay, fine. So a function is called by its name. Function call, generally what is going to happen is a branching takes place. So you must remember that a function call always, a function call is branching. The meaning of branching is the control branches or jumps. Jump. Okay, jumps to branches to the called function. To the called function. In our case, it was max, and executes it. And executes it. When called function terminates, control returns to the calling function. Returns to the calling function. In our case, main is the calling function. In the previous example, calling function and statements following the calling function. Statements following the calling function. Are executed. Can you tell me what are the function after the calling function in our example? Tell me. In our example, what was the statement which was executed after the calling function? Tell me. Is it not printf for maximum value is C? Yes or no? So I'm just giving an example here. Main. You have some statements, then F1 is called. Again, you have some set of statements. Then F1 is defined here. So the flow of a sequence is the set of statement before the calling function is first point. Then the moment function call is happening, the control jumps to the called function call. Second step, they will execute all the statements of the function. This is the third. Then we'll jump back to the calling function, the point where it was called. Then after that, we'll execute the remaining statements after the calling function full 5. Is it clear? Is it clear or not? Respond. Anyhow, you are unable to respond, so I'll start with the third one. Okay, third one. So third is called function prototype or function declaration. Anything is okay. Function prototype or function declaration. Function declaration. Okay. So in our example, I think already I have mentioned int max, int x comma int y semicolon, or you can also write int max int comma int, which I have written in our program. Anything is okay. So this is called function prototyping. So what exactly it does it? It is something like calling, your parent will call you before a stranger comes to you and handing over the money. So something like that. It informs to the compiler. It informs to the compiler that max is a function. Max is a function with two integers. With the two integers or integer parameters. Integer parameters, and it returns an integer again, because I have written integer int there, integer value. Parameter names are optional in the function prototype. Parameters names are optional in the function prototype. Are optional. Prototype must be same as the function heading. Prototype must be same as function heading. So what is the function heading means? When you define your function, I'm rewriting here int max, int x comma int y. Then I've written that if x is greater than y, return x, else return y. This is what I have written. So generally the first line, right? I think I should write here. This first line of the function definition is called function heading. Function heading is also called function signature. Function signature. Anything is okay. So when you write function prototype, it must be similar but not same. Or same means it should be same. Only thing is semicolon. Here there is no semicolon in the definition. There is no semicolon. Whereas in the semicolon is must. Semicolon is must. And only one line, that to beginning, heading of the function definition, whatever is there, that you should write. And all the function prototypes of the predefined functions are defined in the header file. Whereas user defined functions must be written at the beginning of the program by the user, like I did in int max int x comma int y, or int max of int comma int. Whereas for the printf and scanf, I don't know what is exactly written type. Only name we know. How many parameters we are going to pass is also variable, and this complete information will be available in which file is called header file called stdio.h. So because stdio.h header file will take care of the function prototype for the scanf and the printf, and in fact all the predefined functions. Every predefined function will be defined in a particular header file. That also we should know. Right now printf and scanf are defined, or a function prototype is defined in the stdio.h header file. Is it clear to all of you? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
With this I'll stop here because I need to rush to my home again before 2 o'clock. So just a minute, I'll stop sharing the screen. Stop recording.